as I am with you. The light in my bright eyes when you're near. The fluttering, I feel it might just when you are here. I can't explain this kind of love. It pulls me to you, I want it, I can't get enough. So share this precious life with me. Just take my hand and let's enjoy the things that we'll see. Let's go to see the stars and the moon. I'd fly far into space as long as I am with you. The light in my bright eyes when you're near. The fluttering, I feel it might just when you are here. I can't explain this kind of love. It pulls me to you, I want it, I can't get enough. So share this precious life with me. Just take my hand and let's enjoy the things that we'll see.
Hello. Welcome back to another stream. I hope you're having a terrific Tuesday. Hello, Kev. Happy to see you. Gonna hop into some Ace Attorney and get to Edgeworth's first trial. I am hyped. This is gonna be lit. Well, not first trial, first defense. But yeah, I'm really stoked. This will be this should be interesting. I'm sure it'll be a little awkward for Edgeworth, which is fun to see. All right. Also, I charged this, I think. So hopefully it'll be... Maybe I didn't. Damn. Okay, well, I'll just use the mouse. I don't know what's up. Let me try some. Alright, well, I'll figure that out another time. Random thought, but could you use Godot Remix theme for the intro and ending of streams? I think it would be fitting, but up to you, of course. I could use it maybe sometimes. I kind of like just playing different songs. Like, I was feeling that song today. What was it? Bubble Tea or whatever. But I could definitely play that sometimes. Yeah. That's a good idea, actually, because I do like that theme a lot. But yeah, here, I'll put it on the screen. I don't know what's up with my controller. It's basically brand new, so it shouldn't be acting up like this, but it happens. I'll figure it out. Alright, so gotta get a little closer. Yes, thank you. Good bots. Captions on. Before the actual trial starts, this is what I was talking about. Give it a quick listen. Official remix by Capcom. Sick. Let's make sure the game doesn't interfere with it. Here we go. I love everyone in the white suits. Listening to this on a rainy night must be a vibe. Yeah, there's a chance of rain tonight, actually. So if I'm lucky, maybe that'll be me tonight. It's so somber. It's wonderful. It's such a great theme. Very like noir, you know? I could almost see this being in like a detective movie. It was a dark and rainy night when the dame came in. Little did I know that her beauty betrayed the truth, the hideous truth beneath her smile. Yeah, very fitting for him too. That sax tone is just beautiful. What do you think that is he's standing on right here? Bird is standing on Nick's head. Oh yeah. Oh, they're on like a pier. Interesting. I was like, that looks like a boating. That's really interesting. I wonder what they were envisioning. The scenario was that they're in playing this pier performance. I'm sure someone had something they were envisioning. That's beautiful. It's a little long also, I will say. Although, I've been debating doing like the intros longer and waiting for the first ad break to end, and then starting stream. So it's not necessarily a bad idea. But anyway, that's something I've been considering. Singing as jazz makes sense. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I try to keep the intro about 3 minutes, but I've been thinking lately like maybe I should do them longer and wait for the ad break to end and then like officially start stream once the first ad runs, you know? Like once it ends. But yeah, anyway. Ace Attorney time. Yeah, right? Because then because usually the ad plays right as I'm starting and it's like, ugh. So I might do that. Anyway. February 9th, 9:47 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 1. Hold up. Let me unmute the game. All right. Oh my, Miss Larice. Oh, Mr. Larice feels that way about me? Apparently, he isn't aware of your real secret at all. This is no time to be embarrassed. I'm sorry. I just hardly accustomed to that sort of thing.
Worry not. And in any case, whatever it was that he saw on the night of the incident, mark my words, I will drag it out of him.
Just realized your webcam is blocking the text. Oh yeah. Also, the echo is here. Oh, I'm on desktop. Hold on. There we go. That'll fix that. Wait, hold on. Let me go back here. I thought I fixed this. All right, it was here. Yeah, none of these are monitoring. Weird. Anyway. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why this one echoes. I figured out a chunk of it, but I haven't figured it all the way. Anyway, let's not get distracted now. Yes. Does that mean Mr. Larice is the witness today?
No. I believe that none will be the first to take the stand.
Sister Bikini?
She claims to have seen the very instant in which you carried out the crime. I just want to ask you one last time. It really wasn't you who killed Miss Elise Donim, correct?
That is correct. It wasn't me.
Very well then.
Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes?
You're a prosecutor, aren't you? Are you sure about this? If your true identity is revealed...
Don't worry. I've made the necessary arrangements.
I see.
Iris, it is a prosecutor's job to doubt people. But right now, I am a defense attorney. A defense attorney's job is to believe in people and to believe until the bitter end. That's what my friend told me once.
Mr. Edgeworth!
I simply ask that you watch and decide for yourself whether or not I am fit to do the task I have been entrusted.
Very well, sir. I leave my defense in your capable hands. At least somewhat capable. Edgeworth is a smart dude. February 9th, 10 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 7. I love this part because it's like a what if scenario. If Edgeworth actually was a defense attorney. Yeah, it definitely has that kind of like what if energy to it. Except they found a really clever way to just make it a canon event, which is better. Oh, fuck. Oh, yeah. The court is now in session for the trial of Sister Iris of Hazakura Temple. Yeah.
The defense is ready, Your Honor.
Who's going to be the prosecution? The defense does indeed appear to be ready. However, the same cannot be said for the prosecution in this case.
Indeed.
I'm not sure I like such blatant waste of this court's time. An empty prosecutor's chair can only mean that the prosecution has no confidence in their ability to prove their case. It would seem this case is already over before it had a chance to begin, eh? I'm ready to... Wow, slam dunk. We did it, guys. Way to go. Round of applause, everyone. Round of applause. Good job, team. Proud of us. This court finds the defendant.
Objection!
Of course, Von Karma. A 6th case would go crazy, I'm sure. Yeah. Like, could you imagine if they just faked you out like that? And then it's like, all right, on to the next case. Oh my God. Oh, that'd be so good. Yeah, we love Von Karma. I'm stoked to see how this matchup goes. This is a very interesting dynamic here. The prosecution stands ready. God, this is gonna be crazy flipping between these accents. I'm gonna die. And you are Franziska Von Karma, prosecuting protege. Von Karma, you say? Perchance you wouldn't be of any relation to the legendary prosecutor, Manfred von Karma. Legends are a thing of the past. I am a von Karma, that is all. Upon a special request, I flew in today for the purpose of prosecuting this case. You did, eh? Then you must be quite a big shot, eh? By the way, Mr. Edgeworth.
Yes, Your Honor.
I am almost certain that I've seen you somewhere before. Or am I just imagining things? You look very much like a prosecutor I met once.
I believe you are imagining things, Your Honor.
Miss Von Karma, do you have anything to say? Maybe 8 years ago, but who cares about that? Yeah, exactly.
Don't worry about it.
There is no such weakling as this man amongst those of the prosecutor's office. There isn't, eh? But I'm sure I told you, there is no such weakling. Well, what is that? A whip? I'm not sure I care for such a thing in my courtroom. But bailiff, remove that whip. Hold it!
I have no objection to the whip.
That's a memeable frame right there. You don't?
The prosecution can wield a whip or drink 17 cups of coffee. But there is still only one truth. That is what I stand here to prove today.
This promises to be interesting, Miles Edgeworth. I had expected to face Phoenix right here today. But looking at you now, maybe this is what I have been waiting for all this time. Miles Edgeworth, I will not allow this chance to crush you slip through my fingers. Battle of the prosecutors. This is gonna be fun.
I see you brought your flair for the histrionic.
Allow me to add to the things I'm not sure about. People acting bizarrely in my court. Also in Ace Attorney 2, Von Karma did always want to battle with Edgy in court, so it's nice to actually happen in 3. Yeah, because they're framed as rivals, but as prosecutors, there isn't really a way for them to like go head to head unless this happens. So this is a really fun, yeah, like you said, it's kind of like a what if, but it's canon. Better. Allow me to add to the court things I'm not sure about. People acting bizarrely in my court. Oh, wow. The stage is set. Now continue with the proceedings, Your Honor. Very well. Miss Von Karma, please give an outline of this case. With as little whipping as possible. The murder victim is the framed picture book author, Miss Elise Donin. Her body was found in the Hazakura Temple courtyard. She had been stabbed through the torso by a ceremonial sword from a golden statue. The sword in this picture is the weapon in question, correct? Very well. The court accepts this photo of the crime scene. There is no mistake. This was the doing of the Sister Iris. After all, there is a witness to her crime. Very well. Please bring this witness to the stand.
And so it begins. My first and last trial as a defense attorney.
Maybe not the last. We never know. We never know. Witness, state your name and occupation, please. Hold on here. I'm not sure about being not sure if I care for this at all. That is one of the sentences of all times. Yeah, I wouldn't say last because, you know, Miles' investigations. That's a great point. I didn't even necessarily assume that soon, but it seems kind of intuitive now that you point that out. Yeah.
I'm not sure about being not sure if I care for this at all. Witness, please stand up nice and straight. If I recall correctly, there are a few milk crates in the defendant's lobby for our back pain plagued witness.
Oh no, she threw her back out.
Bailiff, fetch a crate for this poor lady, please.
Oh, she's just short, never mind. Once again, your name and occupation, please. Oh, fuck. Oh, yeah. Little old me? Well, I'm the head nun of Hazakura Temple on Eagle Mountain. My name is Bikini. You got it? Bikini. Nice to meet everyone.
But you don't appear to be wearing a bikini right now.
Wow. The courtroom is the garden of holy judgments. Those with letters in their hearts should leave this sanctuary at once.
You want me to leave?
No need to get your bikinis in a twist. Let me tell you, I'm a sight to behold in summer.
In any case, witness, I hear that you saw the crime take place on the night in question.
That's right. I can still hardly believe it myself, to be honest. There's no way my dear little Iris would do anything like that.
Let us hear what you have to say then. First, tell us about your own movements that night, eh?
Night of the murder. That night I was helping an acolyte with her training in the inner temple. But, well, as you can see, my back likes to act up violently. So I left Iris to help the acolyte and returned to Hazakura Temple. There's no bath at the inner temple, you see, and I need a long, hot soak. It was after I had finished, just as I was heading back. That's when I saw it. So I keep doing Edgeworth's voice for him, kind of. So it was simply a coincidence that you found yourself returning to Hazakura Temple. Yes, you could say that. If my back hadn't been in so much pain, I would have stayed at the inner temple.
That sounds like a pretty important statement she just made.
There's only one problem with this testimony that I can see. And you're not about to fall at the first hurdle, now are you, Miles Edgeworth? Mr. Edgeworth, please bring in your cross-examination. That night, I was helping an acolyte with her training in the inner temple. Maybe give him a French accent so it's easier to distinguish, something like Montreal. Yeah. I gotta remember, I gotta try to channel Marty. Marty Biron. Hold up, I don't know if you know who that is. Let me introduce you very briefly. Where am I here? Can't say I've heard. Yeah. He's a hockey guy. He he used to be a goalie, but he's a commentator now. But there's like a whole rule just because of him. So that's funny. But let me see here, Marty. Since we're watching it, let's make it funny moment. Let's see.
There's your top 5 for November. Marty was sour about it, went
He's
to
this
social
guy
media
right
to
here.
complain, and has his own to add.
Well, I can't go in the top 5, but the 9-2 wins against the Senators was great. Hutton's glove save against Bo Horvat was unbelievable. Pominville's backhand. But For me, if I had to put one in that top 5, it would be Tage Thompson in round 5 against the Detroit Red Wings. He has.
Yeah, very funny clip. Anyway, that's the dude though. That's what I got to remember to try to channel. All right. Anyway. Yeah. That was I love that. Sorry, I'm just laughing at how very mundane that clip was. Cue to press. Oh, right. Fuck the volume. One sec. They said this is the banger I need to open my funny moments video with.
What is this inner temple?
Well, see, conversing with the spirits is what we train people to do, right? Full screen the game. Oh yeah, I see. This is that's. I know the game is full screen. Oh, I'm on desktop. There we go. There we go. Well, see, conversing with the spirits is what we train people to do. We'll be the ones asking you to do. We'll be the ones asking you the questions, madam. In order to do that, a place strong in spiritual power is required. There's a small temple across Dusky Bridge called the Inner Temple. Acolytes must spend an entire night there to undergo intense training.
And how exactly do you help with this process?
It is all quite exacting. It can't be performed without a nun supervising. Interesting. Like a tutor watching to make sure the spoiled child studies.
A tutor with a whip in your case. If that's the case, then why did you return to Hazakura Temple where the murder took place?
Well, as you can see, my back likes to act up violently.
Hold it! Violently?
That's right. It's no laughing matter, especially in winter. I can't hold anything heavier than a knife and a fork during the cold months. Damn, she got like arthritis and everything. Or no, just because of her back. I got you. I thought she was talking about her hands now too, and I was like, damn, she really got it bad. Anyway, just being alive is like strict training.
On the night of the murder, was this fabulous back of yours hurting again?
That's right. Raging like a bull in a pig pen. I almost fainted once or twice. I just knew that unless I warmed it up, it was going to finally finish me off. So I left Iris to help the acolytes and returned to Hazakura Temple.
Hold it! You left Iris to help. With what?
What do you think? The acolytes' training, of course. It was just past 10 p.m., so we were starting to enter into the training exercises proper. Wasn't it your place to remain with the disciple? Well, the job is simply to watch over the acolytes so that they don't pass away.
Just to confirm this point again, that night, you met Iris in the Inner Temple, correct?
Yes. She's a gentle, honest girl. She's never once failed to follow my directions. There's no bath at the Inner Temple, you see, and I needed a long, hot soak.
So you returned to the Hazakura Temple in order to take a bath.
My back is to blame for everything. It's a do-be-done-in kind of world after all.
How long were you in the bath for, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, fuck. Damn it. Hold on a sec. I was going to try to rewind the VOD, but I don't think I can do that live. Sad. Oh, well. I was trying to just, like, finish the text, like, fill it out. I bet your next question is going to be, where exactly did you wash? Ah, this is why you have to watch the young ones.
What are you going on about?
Happens to me in other games too. It's normal. Yeah. Ascetic Miles Edgeworth. The lowest of the low.
There's some sort of kick me sign stuck to the defense's bench.
Anyway, I couldn't afford to be away from my post for too long, so you understand. It was after I had finished, just as I was headed back. That's when I saw it. Edgeworth finally knows what Nick had to go through. Yeah.
Hold it!
Yeah. Edgeworth Heart is growing 3 sizes today.
The crime took place in the courtyard, correct?
When you go from my room to the main hall, you have to take a winding hallway from which you can see the courtyard. That's right. In other words, it was pure coincidence that the witness saw the crime taking place before her eyes. There was no complicated setup in this case. That certainly seems to be true.
There is only indeed one problem with this testimony. If I can clearly point out what it is, then I can begin to quantify just how good this witness's memory and observation skills are.
Alright, you were helping. Didn't they say that the training hadn't begun yet? I could have swore. Let me look at my evidence. Let's see. I think they did. Also, Iris never went there allegedly, so that's something to keep in mind. Right. So, I don't see... I'm pretty sure I remember them saying that they never properly started the ceremony. So, let's try the... Since we don't have anything to prove that with, let's try the Iris angle. Now, how can we prove Iris... Oh. I gotta be careful. I'm not used to these controls. I'm gonna do something on accident and fuck up. Alright, so let's think about how we prove that Iris wasn't there. Oh, right. The letter from Larry, from Butt. Alright. We got this. Left Iris. Yeah, okay, that's probably the one. Either the letter or Iris statement. Right, let me look at her statement. I forgot about that also. Let's see. Ring lights up Bell at 10 and then was in her room until the murder was discovered. Right. Remember, you can't use arrow keys for menus. Oh, okay. Let's see. I think I'm gonna go with, you know what? The statement probably feels like. Let's see.
Objection!
Witnesses have to undergo their own trials, I'm afraid. The defendant's fate rests on their powers of observation and memory, after all.
Well. Don't worry. I'm more than up to the task. I'm a woman of faith, after all. The head honcho of Hazakura Temple.
In that case, Miss Honcho, I'd like you to explain something for me. The discrepancy between your testimony and that of the defendant, Iris. She claims that after ringing the lights out bell, she went back and stayed in her room. Which means she did not go to the inner temple at all.
Yeah, you tell her.
Objection!
No. A defendant or a witness? Who is more likely to lie? Do you suppose? The defendant is simply lying to cover her back.
Objection!
But that is completely illogical. The murder was committed in the courtyard of Hazakura Temple. Claiming that she went to the inner temple would make for a much better alibi.
Yeah, for sure. But that is odd. Whatever the reason, I can't believe that she would lie. She does seem to have honest eyes. All people lie. That is my belief. Why am I the only one being whipped here? Anyway, neither of the witnesses nor the defendant have any reason to lie. Which means we must call your memory into question. Dear, dear, dear. You're older than me and yet you want to play that game, do you? Well, that isn't exactly what My memory is perfect. Crystal clear, especially in winter. Then I suppose it's too late or too early to end this cross-examination, eh? Mr. Edgeworth, if you are going to question the memory of this witness, you will need to show a more decisive piece of evidence.
Understood, Your Honor. I was naive to think that alone would do the trick.
Then please add to your comments about the iris to the testimony. And let us return to the cross-examination. Oh, I can also right-click and left-click. That's handy. Okay, anyway. Third statement gotta be the new one. Yeah, no, for sure, for sure. I just realized that I can use the right-click and left-click to advance and go back. So I was playing with that. Okay. Now it's time for this.
Objection!
Wait, no, it's the veil thing. Unfortunately, it is not. And also, I need to save. Not the, Okay, hold on. First of all, let me save. I don't think I've done that yet. And then, it's gotta be... this.
Objection!
Yeah. Witness, let's get one thing straight. The defendant who you claim to have met, she was wearing this demon-warding hood, correct?
Of course. That is a very important piece of clothing, I'll have you know. Wait a minute.
Objection!
Hold it right there. Why do you have that?
That's the question of the day, now isn't it? I'll have you know that this hood was given to someone as a gift that night. Before the lights out bell was rung.
What?
You know where I'm going with this, don't you? If the witness had seen the defendant as she claims, then the iris she saw should have been missing this very hood.
Whoa. She got like 2 or 3 milk crates. She's so tiny, that's so funny. Oh man. There we go.
It's not a bad feeling at all, exposing contradictions like this. Now I understand that happy look on Wright's face every time he does it.
Order in the court. Sister, this hood You have a spare one? You have spare ones around the temple, don't you? Spares? Well, I do tend to make too many of them. Ah, I see a stockpile, a surplus of hoods, eh? Each nun is only given one hood. This should be the only hood that Iris owned. Then this is quite strange. Whoa. If there was a surplus of hoods, then she could have worn one of those. There's no contradiction here.
I'm sorry to break this to you, Miss Von Karma, but you won't get away that easily. Discrepancies such as this will sow seeds in any human heart. The seeds of doubt.
Witness. While I don't wish to call your testimony into doubt, you must give every detail with precision. I'm not sure I'm comfortable going along with this. Sister, you shall continue with your testimony. Tell us what you saw after the finishing your bath on your way back to the inner temple.
Those seeds of doubt are sprouting in the judge's heart. They just need a little more stimulation to bear fruit. Contradictory stimulation.
After my bath. I finished my bath around 11, and I thought... I'm expecting a call, so if I get that call, I'm gonna have to take a break, but we will continue after. I just wanted to make sure I hadn't missed that. I finished my bath around 11, and I thought I should return to the inner temple. And as I was walking back, I heard a noise from the courtyard. I took a look, and Iris was, oh, Mystic Elise, and with that sword of all things. Mystic Elise was staying in the corner room, which faces out into the courtyard. The stabbing I saw must have occurred after she was pushed out of her window. You saw a truly terrible sight, didn't you? Almost turned German for a second there. If I was in your place, then it would be much like Miss Von Karma whipping Mr. Edgeworth into court. In court. And me seeing it all from this very chair. Or, something like that. This judge, yeah. This reminds me, we still don't know why Elise was killed. If Iris wanted to kill Nick for revenge, you'd think she'd go for him. Right. Like, no one seems to have a clear motive, because it seems like everybody loved Elise. It seemed like she was just like this pure soul. So it makes you wonder. It really does. Like, what the fuck happened? And why?
His imagination is about as vivid and creative as Detective Gumshoe.
I would look the fool if I commented on such foolishness. Anyway, this case is mine, Miles Edgeworth.
Calling everyone by their full name. Can't you do something about that habit of yours?
I finished my bath around 11, and I thought I should return to the inner temple. Oh, no, you.
Hold it! How far is it from your room to the inner temple?
Let me think a moment. About 20 minutes on these stumps of mine. Don't forget to save, of course. Yeah, for sure. It's about 15 minutes to Dusky Bridge from Hazakura Temple. The inner temple is just beyond the bridge. Still, You never made it back there that night, did you? That's right. I was heading along the walkway toward the main hall. And as I was walking back, I heard a noise from the courtyard. I took a look and... You know what I'm wondering is, okay, you heard the noise from the courtyard, but you were walking back to the temple. Why do you cross paths with the courtyard on the way to the temple? That seems a little odd to me.
Hold it! You say you heard a noise.
Thump. Just like that. That could only be the sound of the victim falling. It's very quiet in the temple, you know. You can even hear the snow falling from the branches. A thump, just like that. But then couldn't this noise you heard have been the snow falling to the ground? I never thought of that. The next one to laugh gets a whipping. Well, whatever the source of the sound, I looked over at the courtyard and Iris was, oh, Mystic Elise, and that sword of all things.
Hold it! This is the second time that the witness is testifying to seeing the defendants. But some doubt remains in these claims.
Hey, just what does that mean? Just because you're a good-looking young man doesn't give you the right to.
The murderer who stabbed the victim with the sword, Sister Bikini. Try to recall exactly who it was you saw, as clearly as you can.
Well, you're a handsome young man, so I'll forgive you. Oh, now that you mention it, there was something awfully strange about her. Something that has been bugging me all this time.
Please, don't keep us in suspense.
Her hood. Her hood? That's right. It's coming back to me. Iris. She wasn't wearing her hood. I thought something was out of place, but it all makes sense now, doesn't it? After all, she'd given that hood away to someone, right? You've dug your own grave, Miles Edgeworth. What do you say, Mr. Edgeworth? Is this testimony important? Oh, let me save before we make a decision. It's important. I feel it in my bones.
This may initially appear to put me at a disadvantage, but I can't see any other leads at the moment. Your Honor, I would like these new statements added to the testimony.
Miles Edgeworth, if you want to hang yourself, you need only ask. I'll gladly lend you my whip. Witness, add that statement to your testimony. No problem. Now that you mention it, Iris didn't have her hood on.
Hold it! You are sure about that?
Yes, after all, we always wear the same clothes. Ah, I don't mean it because we're poor, you understand. It's our style, yes, that's it.
There's absolutely no need to explain yourself.
Anyway, she looked different from normal, so that really stuck out. Like me holding a Whippet puppy instead of my whip?
At least then it might be... At least then it might bite you and not someone else.
Damn. Iris didn't have her hood on. I'm sure of it. Very well. Now, please tell us about the victim, eh? Mystic Elise was staying in the corner room, which faces out into the courtyard. So she probably fell from her window.
Hold it!
The room the victim was staying in overlooked the courtyard, correct?
Which means the victim's room was on the second floor. No. Hazakura Temple is a single-story building. But the mountain itself slopes downward, which elevates the main gate side of the temple and the guest rooms in the back to about the height of a two-story building. I see, and the victim was staying in one of these elevated rooms, correct? Yes, I should know. I'm the one who carried her things to her room after all. The stabbing I saw must have occurred after she was pushed out of her window.
Hold it!
What makes you so sure of all this?
It's just like I told you earlier. I heard a noise from the courtyard, okay? Oh, just like that. You're one smart sister, I'll give you that. The autopsy report states that the victim's body was covered in bruises, indicating a fall from around 10 feet in height. We knew that. But now we get it in the court record. It appears that the witness was not mistaken then. Yep. I'm more than just a pretty face, especially in winter. I'm a woman of faith, after all, the head honcho of Hazakura Temple.
There's only 2 of them working there.
What's wrong, Miles Edgeworth? No snappy comeback remark?
It doesn't feel like she's lying.
Can you reread that autopsy report? I'd actually like a reminder. Yeah, for sure. Time 10 to 11 p.m. Cause loss of blood from stab in the back. Body fell 10 feet after death. There we go. Interesting.
She claims to have seen the instant in which the defendant stabbed the victim. There are only 2 things I believe in right now. My client Iris, my own abilities as a defense attorney.
It's starting to sound like Phoenix. Alright, so now we know what to press on. Yeah, for sure. Let's see here. There we go. Tab.
Objection!
Impressive logic. That's what I'd like to say anyway.
Oh, please do. My brain is something else, especially in winter.
However, I think you are overlooking one thing. Miss Von Karma, would you be so kind as to take another look at the autopsy report?
This is the autopsy report?
The victim did fall from a height of 10 feet. However, this fall was after she was killed.
That's right. It says right here. That's right. It says after death right here.
The scene the witness claims to have seen is contradictory.
I'm wondering if not Iris, but what's her name? Bikini, right. How could I forget that? I'm wondering if Bikini stabbed her from behind and in the process of stabbing her, pushed her out the window with a big ass sword. And then when she went down, Iris had witnessed it tried to like pull the sword out to save her or in a panic or something. This, yeah. I don't know. It's interesting. Something's mad fishy here.
How did the victim then go on to take a 10-foot fall?
She don't really have a motive though. Well, aside from that, I'm not sure. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, no one has a clear motive. Order. The victim was killed and then fell? If that's the case, then the victim must have been killed in her room. Don't you agree? That is logical conclusion. Yes, that's right. The victim must have been stabbed by the defendant in her own room. And then she was thrown out her own window down into the courtyard.
Objection!
Were there any signs of struggle in Miss Donum's room? She was stabbed with a sword. That would leave a blood stain. Wouldn't you agree?
Well, Miss Von Karma, was there any blood? Whoa! No traces of blood were found in the victim's room. Your whip has just caused traces of blood to be found in my... Your whip has just caused traces of blood to be found on my glorious playoff beard. However, if there was... I'm sure there's no need for me to go over this, as I'm sure your honor is well aware. When a stab wound produces the most blood, when it produces the most blood, very little blood is actually lost at the moment of a blade's insertion. If you want to talk about when the most blood would be lost from a body, that would be when the blade is removed.
Indeed. With the weapon still in place, it acts like a lid on the wound.
That's true. With the weapon still in the body, there wouldn't be much bleeding. Perfectly reasonable line of thinking. We have come to a conclusion then. The victim was thrown out of the window with the sword still in place. This removes all of the contradictions. Yeah. Order. I must admit that this is a probable version of events.
I'd expect no less from Franziska von Karma. She locates and takes control of every vital point.
It seems that we need a clearer testimony from the witness. Remove all suppositions on your part and tell us only the facts, please. Witness, please, remain standing on the crate. Don't go selling me short now. The weight of winter snow has bent me out of shape, especially my back and my mood. Sister, please give us your testimony. I will give you a vigorous massage once we are finished here.
With the whip?
Oh boy. All right. Further details. When I looked across at the scene, the sword was already in place. Thinking about it now, I didn't actually see her stab Mystic Elise. I've never seen so much blood before. That's when I fainted. You can't blame me, can you? And when I awoke, Mystic Army was stabbing Mystic Elise through the back. This all confirms Miss Von Karma's theory. Von Karma strive for nothing but perfection. Putting together such facts is nothing for me. You should know that, Miles Edgeworth.
Perfection is an impossibility, Franziska Von Karma. And I'm here to teach you just that.
Further detail. When I looked across at the scene, the sword was already in place.
Hold it!
At that time, was the victim bleeding?
Well, I was very shocked to be seeing all this, of course. Though I'm not entirely sure. But I don't think I saw any blood. Not then. I'm sure that you didn't. The weapon was acting as a plug in the wound.
In any case, let's be clear on one very important point. Did you actually see the instant in which the victim was stabbed?
Thinking about it now, I didn't actually see her stab Mr. Elise.
Hold it!
Think carefully. This is very important.
It's Iris we're talking about here. I'm thinking for all I'm worth. No. When I looked over, the sword was already in Mystic Elise's body.
It might not be conclusive, but this testimony supports her theory.
The victim was stabbed in her room and then dropped into the courtyard. I think this proves it rather well, Nurse Edgeworth. I've never seen so much blood before.
Hold it!
So you're saying that you saw the victim's blood?
That's right. Some of it had splattered onto Iris, too. When the defendant was arrested, she was meditating in her room, and her blood-flecked clothing was neatly folded in the corner.
What? Her clothes were blood-flecked as well?
That seems quite conclusive to me.
What should I do? Press this point further? We should save.
Let's press further.
Going back to your previous statement, you said you saw a little bleeding when the victim was stabbed, but now you say you saw the victim bleeding.
Well, I say that what I saw is what I saw. What did you see? Maybe I didn't see the poor woman get stabbed, but I saw the girl pull the sword out of her plain as day.
Pulling the sword out?
Well, it wasn't exactly pulling, it was more like came out. Witness, you will add this statement to your testimony. Oh, was that important?
More important than you can imagine.
I saw the instant in which the blade plunged into the hilt. It was smoothly drawn out. That's a really weird way to phrase that.
Hold it!
Smoothly, you say? You're saying you saw the sword smoothly slide out?
That's right. The whole thing happened right next to the gold statue of Mystic Ami. Mystic Elise was on the ground and Iris was stooped over her. The sword was buried up to the hilt. When Iris stood up, the sword with the sword in her hand just slid out of Mystic Elise's body. It slid out from that gaping wound. It goes without saying that if the sword was removed, there would be bleeding. Nothing out of place here.
Is that really the case? I can't help but feel that something about this testimony is very out of place. That something which couldn't have possibly have happened appears to have happened.
When I looked across the scene, the sword was already in place. Thinking about it now, I didn't actually see her stab Mystic Elise. I saw the instant in which the blade plunged into the hilt was smoothly drawn out. Never seen so much blood before. That's when I fainted. Then I awoke. Mystic Ami was stabbing Mystic Elise through the back. Now, how? Maybe take a look at the evidence, see what's wrong. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. She does appear to be being stabbed by Mystic Ami. And none of this really explains the fall. Yeah, I'm just trying to look for like any clue to give me a hint what statement to press on. I'm not sure what angle to take, so I'm just kind of looking over all the evidence. Alright, let's look over these statements. Oh, whoops.
Why was it necessary to use the Shishichido from the Ami statue as a weapon? Why was the weapon ultimately placed back in the hand of the statue? I can expose the flaws in this testimony, perhaps then I can find the truth.
Okay. Sword was already in place. Do you think you might have... yeah, that was definitely a hint. I'm trying to figure it out. Let's see. What is it? Like, what ties to the placing of the sword? Or, like, why it was used? I feel like it's gotta be one of these first ones. I'm not sure exactly what the evidence is, though. Let's see. Why would you have to use sword? I'm betting my money on the third statement saying it was smoothly drawn out. Oh, yeah. That's a great point. That's probably it. Because, yeah. That shit is not coming out smooth, I don't think. I don't think it's going in smooth either, though. Alright, let's see here. Let's present the sword.
Objection!
Yeah.
Sister Bikini, you are a reliable witness. At least, I'd like to think so. But there are too many contradictions here.
What do you mean? You make it sound as though I'm a liar. But you're a handsome young man, so I'll forgive you. What contradictions are you talking about?
In the scene that the witness claims to have seen, the weapon was thrust up to its hilt into the victim. Furthermore, the killer withdrew the weapon smoothly from the body. However, both of these are complete impossibilities.
What do you mean? Explain yourself.
To start with, do you think it would be possible to stab someone to the hilt with this? No matter how I look at the defendant, she doesn't appear strong enough for this.
Objection!
Doesn't appear. What meaningless dribble.
I too may appear to be weak and frail, but I can crush men under my heel and make them weak, should I so choose. The objection stands. I wept a little back there, I must admit.
Objection!
That isn't the only issue here. If this sword was truly stabbed into the body up to the hilt, well, just look at all the branches on it. It certainly wouldn't come out smoothly.
That's...
We also have the problem of the amount of bleeding. It's true that when a blade is left in a body, it acts as a plug of sorts. However, when the weapon is shaped like this, it's an entirely different story. The wound that would be too large for the blade to completely stop the bleeding.
Objection!
So that's nothing more than conjecture. In reality, the victim was stabbed with the shishishito. Even a weapon of this nature may still sometimes slide out smoothly, and may still sometimes stop the blood loss.
Objection!
I'm not finished. There's still one more conclusive contradiction.
You've still got more.
This one is simple. If this sword really was thrust all the way to the hilt, then why is there only blood on the tip of it? If this witness is telling the truth, then there should be blood along the entire length of the sword.
No! Order! Bravo, Miles Edgeworth. Raising this many contradictions from a single piece of evidence. All the other attorneys I know could maybe manage one if that. But what does this all mean? You are proving contradictions regarding the murder weapon, but...
Having come this far, there can only be one answer.
And that is?
The weapon used to kill the victim was not the Shishishito.
What? A foolish idea born from the foolish mind of a foolhardy, foolish fool.
Let's examine this again. What was it that made us think this sword was the murder weapon?
Well... It's because Mystic Ami was holding it.
Exactly. However, if you reflect on this, that is the only basis we have to assume such a thing. The impression left by the scene was just too strong. That is what influenced us. It influenced us to believe that the Shishishito was the murder weapon.
Interesting. Order! Wah! So maybe the Shishishito was not the murder weapon. Even if that is the case, it changes nothing, Miles Edgeworth. The sister here saw everything. She saw the defendant stab the victim with a sword-like object.
That's true. Your response, Mr. Edgeworth? If that is so, I would like the prosecution to answer the obvious question it raises.
The obvious question.
Yes. Namely, where did the real murder weapon disappear to?
It sounds like it's time to save.
It goes without saying that the police searched the main hall and the surrounding area. Perhaps the prosecution can enlighten us as to if a sword-like object was found.
Answer the question, Miss Von Karma. No evidence of that kind was found. Oh, shit. Another mysterious throw onto the pile. Fucking A. He turned Irish. A trial without a murder weapon is a tricky beast.
Excuse me, could I say something? I just remembered something, actually.
What is it, sister?
I was just thinking, it's possible that just maybe what actually happened was it was just over there.
What exactly are you going on about here?
The murder weapon, I mean. Maybe. I think I might know where the sword was disposed of.
Felsen, I think we need to hear this testimony from you one more time, sister.
Impossible. What else? What else could this old woman have seen?
I saw the murder at around 11 p.m. And after asking that it be reported, I went out to the main gate. And there, I saw tracks. Tracks that indicated the snowmobile had been used. It takes 15 minutes to walk the Dusky Bridge, but less than 5 using one of those. Maybe they threw the weapon into Eagle River and came back while I was knocked out. Iris could have done that. She can drive a snowmobile after all.
Witness, please tell us everything you know right away next time.
Well, I'm not in the best of shape. With my back and my age, you know.
Fight. There were indeed snowmobile tracks in front of the main gates. Here's a photograph.
Well, fair enough. Skidoo, eh?
I see. Well, it certainly is an interesting theory.
Or a snowdoo, that's what we call
them. The tracks began in front of the Hazakura Temple and run all the way to Dusky Bridge. That solves your pesky little problem, yes? The Eagle River current is quite swift, meaning that it doesn't freeze over in winter, making it the perfect place to dispose of the murder weapon.
Did she really go to the river to dispose of the murder weapon?
Mr. Edgeworth, your cross-examination, please.
All right, let's do this. I saw the murder at around 11 p.m.
Hold it!
You're sure about the time?
Yes, I was worried about it after all.
Why is that?
Because I have a strong sense of responsibility, especially at this time of year. The Acolyte was being doused in freezing water at the time. I couldn't very well take it easy in the bath all night, now could I? So at 11, I decided to leave Hazakura Temple.
Our estimation of the time seems reliable, at least.
Please continue, sister.
And after asking that it be reported, I went out to the main gate.
Hold it!
You asked Phoenix Wright to report the crime, correct?
Right. The one who trampled me.
It seems she's the type to hold a grudge.
There isn't a phone in the main hall, so I sent him to the bridge.
Phoenix Wright? He didn't even have his cell phone on him.
He had forgotten it at home, apparently.
What a naive boy, as always. Not only do I always carry my phone, but I always have my whip in hand too.
Anyway, I was really scared, and it was taking him a while to get back. So I thought I'd go out by the main gate for a spell. And there, I saw tracks that indicated the snowmobile had been used.
As I recall, there was a snowmobile outside the main shed when I visited main gate.
That's it. That's the only one we have. It'll run no matter how much snow falls.
Now, you're certain the snowmobile was there at the main gate when you arrived?
Yes, of course. It was parked in front of the gate. So, she had already gone and discarded the murder weapon and returned by that time.
I'm not sure if this is really relevant. What should I do?
Quick save, and then we're gonna press.
I need answers to every possible doubt. The snowmobile in question, was it still warm at the time?
Huh? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean, eh? What do you mean, Miles Edgeworth?
I'm playing to a slow crowd here. It goes without saying that using a snowmobile will heat its engine. If it was still warm, then it means it was recently used.
Oh, I see. I never thought of that. That's right. I overlooked that too. Of course you did.
Then answer the question, please, witness.
I don't often go around touching hot engines. However, now that you mention it, there wasn't any snow on it. Snow? Yes, for some reason, only the snowmobile wasn't covered in snow.
There wasn't any snow on it? Curses.
It seems highly likely that the killer did use the snowmobile then, eh? How long does it take to get the Dusky Bridge by a snowmobile? It takes 15 minutes to walk the Dusky Bridge, but less than 5 using one of those.
Hold it! In that case, why didn't you use it yourself? You could have spared yourself some walking.
There's a reason for that. Have we got a moment for me to explain? I think that's why the question was asked in the first place. It was about a month ago. I was driving my beloved little snowmobile, happy as can be. I'd fetched some water and was headed back when I went and crashed into a tree. The tree and my back both went crunch, just like that. Crunch!
Crunch.
I haven't been able to find the courage to write anything since then. Anyway, the killer must have used it. Maybe they threw the weapon into the Eagle River and came back while I was knocked out.
Hold it! Refresh our memory. How long were you knocked out for?
Like I said, somewhere between 10 and 20 minutes. It's possible to get the bridge and back in 10 minutes using the snowmobile.
I have to concede that is more than enough time.
Is that all you wish to concede, Mr. Edgeworth? Iris could have done that. She can drive a snowmobile after all.
While it would have been possible time-wise, one element remains out of place here.
Oh, and what would this mystery element be?
The killer's reasoning, Your Honor. Why did the killer do all of this? Why go to Eagle River to dispose of the murder weapon when there are other methods?
Too many unanswered questions. Your response, Miss Von Karma. Turning to me for help over the slightest thing. Why don't you think for yourself for once in a while, Your Honor? What?
She's as over the top as always.
Anyway, whatever the reason, the fact remains that the defendant could have done this. The murder weapon was disposed of in the river. Another point to me, Miles Edgeworth.
Another mystery to feed to the fire. Was there any reason to go and throw away the murder weapon? Luckily, there is surely a problem with this testimony. Now all I have to do is start poking holes in this flawed account.
Okay, let's see. Ordered, I went out to the gate. there I saw the tracks. Let's see. Now, what is our play? I feel like it's gotta be, we gotta prove that she didn't use the snowmobile. How do we do this? Where's the weather? Here we go. Snow 7 to approximately 10:50. Lightning 10 to 11. Lightning struck Dusky Bridge at 10:45, around 30 minutes past. Okay. Wait, are these supposed to be her footprints? Or maybe Phoenix's? Because then that timeline doesn't match up then. Interesting. Let's see. Let's check the testimony. Where I went out to the main gate and there I saw tracks. Tracks indicated the snowmobile had been used. Takes 15 minutes, maybe. Huh. I'm gonna try on this. And then... Let's see.
Objection!
Nope. Alright, let's see, because this one seems to be... Let's see. Okay. Saw the murder at around 11. After asking that it could be reported, you went out to the main gates. There you saw tracks indicating the snowmobile be used. Takes 15 minutes to walk, less than maybe if the weapon came back while I was knocked out. Maybe this is the one I presented it to. So maybe I had the right idea, but the wrong statement.
Objection!
Bingo. I admit this photograph proves something. It proves that the snowmobile was used the night of the murder.
You finally accepted the inevitable, it seems, Miles Edgeworth.
However, if what the witness says is true, then why is there only one set of tracks?
What do you mean?
Iris left Hazakura Temple, threw the weapon into the river, and then returned. If this was the case, then naturally there should be two sets of tracks in the snow. Those from heading out to the bridge and those from coming back.
Ah, you're right. You are forgetting one thing, Miles Edgeworth. On the night of the murder, it was snowing. The tracks leading to the bridge were erased by the snowfall. This removes your precious contradiction, now doesn't it? I see. While she was at the river, the snow stopped, leaving just the return tracks in the snow.
That doesn't track with the timeline, though.
What do you have to say to that now, Mr. Edgeworth?
Is there a flaw in her theory?
Let me save to be certain, but I'm pretty sure we got this. Yes, there is.
This idea that the snowfall covered one set of tracks. There's a contradiction. The tracks to the river were covered by snow. What a nice theory. However, Miss Von Karma, that's impossible.
Would you care to explain? Why is there a rude index finger currently pointed in my general direction?
No need. The evidence will do all the talking for me.
On the night of the murder, the killer went to and returned from Dusky Bridge. In order to dispose of the murder weapon, the outgoing tracks were erased by snow. Or so claims Miss Von Karma. Mr. Edgeworth, please present your evidence to the contrary, eh? Evidence that the outgoing tracks were not covered by the snow.
Take that!
Witness, please tell us again what time it was when you witnessed the crime.
Like I said, it was around 11.
Of course. This means that the weapon was thrown away after that time, correct? On that note, please take a look at this data. It is the weather report for Eagle Mountain the night of the murder.
The weather report.
Snow started to fall at 7 p.m., but it stopped at around 10:50. Therefore, when Sister witnessed the crime at 11 p.m., the snow had already stopped falling. It is impossible for any tracks made after that time to have been covered up.
Got her ass. Order. Very well then. It looks like Ms. Von Karma's claim has been snowed in. Wah! It's too soon to be closing this trial in the snow, due to snow. Miles Edgeworth, how pathetic of you to rely on the weather of all things. Salty. Answer me this then. When is a weather report ever correct? No, you've got it all wrong. This isn't a forecast. This is actual data. Yeah. Forecast data. All weather reports have some inaccuracies. It may have still been snowing in the vicinity well past 11 p.m. It's true we cannot be totally sure, eh?
What? How did she pull that off?
It had stopped snowing at Hazakura Temple when the murder took place. You need to provide conclusive evidence of this.
I've come this far. There's no turning back now.
I need to save.
Very well. I too cannot allow any doubt to remain concerning this testimony.
You can't back down, can you? Such a perfectionist, Miles Edgeworth. Very well then, Mr. Edgeworth. Where is your evidence that it had already stopped snowing when the victim was killed? I think it might be the photo again, honestly. But let's see. Yeah, honestly, I feel like it's this again because the foot.
Take that!
Your response, Ms. Von Karma. It looks like it's still snowing in your heart too. The crime photo? That's fair. Let's try that. Ba-da-ba-ba-da. Alright. Let's look at this crime photo. Okay, let's see. Oh, footprints in this. So yeah, maybe this will be the one.
Ultimately, it all comes down to one point. That being, whether or not it was snowing in that courtyard when the victim was stabbed.
That's right. But proving that is...
Incredibly easy. If we want to know whether it was snowing or not, this photo will tell us everything. Of course, I'm referring to the photo of the crime scene. As you can see, everything is covered with snow. With just one exception.
And that is?
The victim herself, Miss Elise Denim. Why is there no snow on top of her? The answer is simple. And it stopped snowing when she was killed. That's why. In other words, if the killer really did go to Eagle River to dispose of the murder weapon, in this photograph there should be 2 sets of tracks. Let's go.
Order. Just what are you? Just what are you suggesting, Miles Edgeworth?
To be honest, I'm not entirely sure myself, but this is simply what all of the facts point to. That night, someone used the snowmobile to leave Hazakura Temple. From the tracks left, it can be understood that they were headed for Dusky Bridge. At that time, it was still snowing.
Of course it was, because those tracks were erased by the snow.
Then, when this person returned to Hazakura Temple, the snow had stopped. Thus, the returning tracks remained.
So whoever took the snowmobile is probably the least likely to have done it. In that sense. Can I say something? This all sounds a bit fishy to me.
What does, sister?
There is only one key for the snowmobile.
Furthermore, on the night in question, we know that the defendant had it. The key was found in her room after the murder.
Which can only mean that night, Iris used the snowmobile to go to the inner temple.
But Iris said that she never went there. I should probably press on this point some more when I get the chance.
Yeah, for sure. Interesting.
The snowmobile can't...
This sounds like another save moment. Hold on a sec.
The snowmobile can't cross the
The snowmobile can't cross the suspension bridge. So she must have left it on the Hazakura side of the bridge and crossed on foot. That sounds right. But what's odd is, when I left Iris and returned to Hazakura Temple, I didn't see anything near the ski bridge.
You must have just failed to see it, sister.
Maybe, but when I made it back to Hazakura Temple, it was there, by the main gate, the snowmobile, I mean. I know what I saw. It was covered in snow, too.
But that isn't possible.
Order in the court. What does this all mean?
So then what was the snowmobile used for? It wasn't taken by the defendant when she went to the inner temple. If it had been, then the witness couldn't possibly have seen it by the gate. Furthermore, it wasn't used by the killer to dispose of the murder weapon. If that was the case, there should be 2 sets of tracks in this photo. All we know is this. After it stopped snowing, someone used the snowmobile to return to Hazakura Temple. I never thought a simple snowmobile could cause so much trouble.
I think we've learned all we can from this witness. Yes, yes. I've got nothing more to add. I've told you everything that I know. But then that still leaves us with the same problem. If only there was someone, a witness who could testify to having seen the snowmobile.
A witness, huh?
Was there no one out walking, perhaps near Dusky Bridge on that night? I don't think that's likely. It was cold enough to freeze your ears off. Only an idiot would go out wandering in that. Unless they had something really important to do. That's a shame.
Hold on.
Larry, yeah.
Something is coming to me. An idiot may well have gone wandering out into that subarctic night. Your Honor, actually, there just might be one individual who may be of help to us.
Really? Do you know of someone who might have seen the snowmobile on the night of the murder?
I don't know for sure if he saw it or not, but there are two things about him that do come to mind.
Which are?
First, that he saw something incredible on the night of the murder.
And the second being?
This individual that I am thinking of went wandering outside on that cold night. In other words, he is our kind of idiot.
Mr. Edgeworth, who is this idiot you're talking about? Larry!
Take that!
Larry! This guy must be a product of Jean-Luc Deluxe's Guide to Obnoxious French Painting.
This is Larry Butts, disciple of the victim Elise Donnell.
Her student? Interesting. And why was he wandering about outside on the night of the murder?
That's... I could tell them about his designs for Iris, but it may cost us his credibility as a witness before I even call him. He is, after all, an artist. He was perhaps searching for something in the snowy scenery that would move him. Although I cannot guarantee that this is the reason.
And so this unfortunate, unreliable-looking man, what exactly was it that he saw?
Smart move of him to not mention the letter. Yeah, for sure.
I intend to extract that from him right here in this courtroom.
Summon this youth as a witness immediately. I have no choice, do I?
I believe he's in the gallery for this trial. I will not take long to summon him.
Very well.
Larry. You may have escaped me yesterday, but today I'm going to get everything out of you.
Oh boy. The court will now adjourn for a 20-minute break. Miss Von Karma, please see to preparing the next witness. Understood, Your Honor. Good. Well then, court is now in recess.
Yeah. Alrighty. I'm gonna take a short break, fill up my water, and grab a little snack. I'm gonna play that remix for y'all while I'm taking my break. Give you a little music, a little chill vibe, and then yeah. And then we'll be back to this second half. We are gonna do this today. Let me grab that remix real quick. All right, I'll be right back. See y'all in a few. All right, we are back. um, let's get back into this game. Part 2. Oh, thank you, thank you. Yeah, I felt like that was the perfect like BRB screen. I had to do it, you know? All right. I'm still not sure if we can trust Iris and or Dahlia, but I guess we'll wait and see. Excuse me, Mr. Edgeworth? I'm not really sure what to say.
Iris, we only have 20 minutes. There are two things which I need to ask you before we reconvene.
All right, I'll help you any way I can.
First, about that night. You really didn't go to the inner temple, correct? The last witness claims to have met and talked with you in the training hall. Either you or Sister Bikini is lying.
Mr. Edgeworth, it's just as I said yesterday. Until the incident occurred, I was in my own room in Hazakura Temple.
Very well. The second thing, then. That night, the temple snowmobile was used in between the time Sister Bikini returned to the main hall and when she bore witness to the murder. Sometime between 10:30 and 11 p.m. that night. Were you the one who used the snowmobile?
Here comes a psycho lock. There's only one key for the snowmobile. The only person who could have used it was me.
So it was you. But why? What made you go out to Dusky Bridge?
I'm sorry, Mr. Edgeworth. Yep, knew it. Called that.
Iris.
I can't tell you about that. I can't tell you about that yet. Another 5. Yeah, this is a heavy-duty lock.
Yet?
Not until her safety is confirmed.
Her?
The safety of the acolyte.
The acolyte, huh? She must be talking about Maya.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely talking about Maya.
Iris, look me in the eye and tell me the truth. Did you kill Elise Donim?
No matter what, no matter who or what may come, I could never take a life.
As I thought. No psycho locks. Very well. It is my job to get to the truth. You'll discover this for yourself soon enough.
Sec, I should have done this on my break. Give me just one hot. I just wanted to turn down the sound alerts because I happened to think of it, but that way they're not as like overly disruptive because they do kind of be loud as shit, don't they? And I wonder if people don't use them so loud. I'm just kidding. Do you think she really did it or nah? That's a great question, honestly. Not entirely sure. I feel like it could go either way, but I still lean towards her not doing it. I think once we start finding motives for people, that's going to make a lot more sense cuz we really don't know much about anyone's relationship. And I think that that's a big part of why it's so hard to figure what's going down. I have to. I always love that song. That was always goals to learn. Are it's like unbelievable. Actually, here we go. Yes, here we go. Here we go. Mobile volume. Here we go. Oh, it is as it's from the. Okay, okay. I could have adjusted this. I could have adjusted this in OBS this whole time. Oh, so then it's on. I didn't realize that that was actually where the sound was coming. Here we go. There we go. Oh, what the fuck? Is it? Um. Sorry. This is. I know riveting. Can you hear me still? I don't think you can. Check. Okay, there's my mic. Okay. Don't need this. Need this. 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 Okay, holy fuck. Sorry about that. We are good to go. Oh, I didn't even turn it down. All that to turn blurb down. Now it's turned down. Okay, anyway. Court will now reconvene. Miss Von Karma, where is the witness? During the break, a man was detained for suspicious behavior in the galley. Suspicious behavior?
He was sketching something very intensely.
Dare I ask what the witness was sketching when he was detained?
He drew a terrifying woman, armed with a demonic face and a vicious whip.
I wonder what inspired that.
I can only presume that he was... Anyway, it's time to drag this pathetic excuse for an artist before the court. Loris Donim, I hope you're ready. Get in here.
It would seem that whip is going to see plenty more use today.
Indeed it do.
Youch! Your sketch is in contempt of this court. Hey, I was just realistically depicting. Ouch! You tried to run away from the bailiff who was trying to hand you your subpoena, correct? Well, look, I'm nothing but a fledgling artist, training out in the mountains. I'm only down here in the city because I ran out of green paint. Well, to use the technical time for the color of the radiant.
Larry, this isn't an art store now, is it?
I know. I just graduated junior high, okay? Look, art is about all working in the field, isn't it? Working in the fields.
I presume he wanted to say field work. I hope.
That's it. Thanks, buddy.
It's kind of sad that I was able to understand his mangled wreck of a sentence.
I just happened to stop in here and found a wonderful new model. So see, I got nothing to do with this trial at all.
That remains to be seen, Larry.
I expect all your faces to be red when you realize this big mistake. Bright red. Or use the technical term, Crimson Lake. Ouch! Ow, ow, ouch! 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 Damn, everyone's getting whipped. Stop your pathetic blabbing and testify like a man.
Refrain from whipping me, Miss Von Karma. Cross-whipping is as bad as cross-checking.
Witness, that was all your fault. Testify now. This is too much for me.
What I saw.
I was at the lodge out in the mountains looking up at the stars that night.
Hold on, let me try this. This isn't logged in. Everything is logged out. But something I've noticed since I've started doing the art that I've made instead of the videos that I had pre-made from Stream Elements is that OBS is running a lot smoother. Alright, let's see here. What should I type? Oh, right. This. Butts. Oh yeah, let me update these too. So this wasn't getting anything, this didn't do anything. Okay. Let's see how this goes. Okay, carrying on.
I was at that lodge out in the mountains looking up at the stars that night. I walked to the bridge a number of times, but I didn't see a snowmobile. I didn't see anyone at the bridge that night neither. The girl I was waiting for didn't show up. My teacher died on me. I'm all alone now. Aren't I edgy? Witness, please refrain from talking directly to the lawyers during your testimony. I'm just a nobody. Nothing but a small, worthless man, aren't I? And that's why I was asked for my name and occupation. Or anything else? Mr. Edgeworth, this man seems to have quite a severe inferiority complex. Yeah, for real.
He's recently been the cause of numerous incidents. I think he's finally realized for himself just how much of a nuisance he has been to other people.
Yeah, that's right. I'm behind everything, every case. Watch out, okay? Just touching me will make you eternally unhappy. Well then, let us proceed with the cross-examination with no touching. Thank you. We could delve into the other details at a later time. That's hilarious. All right, Larry, what'd you see? I was at the lodge out in the mountains looking up at the stars that night. Hold it! Whatever is the matter, Mr. Edgeworth?
This one single statement is so full of contradictions. For a moment there, I thought I was gonna collapse.
So, witness, any idea as to where these contradictions in your testimony lie? Depending on your answer, I may stay my VIP. Okay, give me a minute. Well, it was snowing that night, so I couldn't have possibly seen the stars. A rundown shack is hardly a lodge, is it? And even the stars could be seen. It isn't like I was there to look at them, right? See? You can do it if you try. Ouch! There's only one issue here. What you saw at Dusky Bridge. Yeah, I walked out to the bridge a number of times, but... Hold it! Hold it!
A number of times? How many?
Maybe, 5 times? I went once every 20 minutes.
Which means you spent almost 2 hours at Heavenly Hall that night.
You bet! Real love is about waiting with your heart in your hands. Love, you say?
It was this man's intention to summon the defendant to the small shack, using this blackmail letter.
But blackmail? Yeah, for real, what the fuck were you thinking, man? No, that was a product of my love. You huffy, loosey-goosey excuse for a vimping, whiny wuss of a witness. So, what did you see? I hope for your sake you saw a snowmobile. You huffy-puffy, loosey-goosey excuse for a whimpering, whiny wuss of a witness, eh? Well, you see...
Being called those names doesn't seem to bother him at all.
Yeah, he's probably used to it at this point in his life. I didn't see a snowmobile. Hold it!
Larry, you really didn't see it?
Hey, no need to hit your desk. I can hear you. I didn't see it. I didn't see a snowmobile.
Larry, say snowmobile for me, please.
Snowmobile.
If you truly have nothing to hide, then why are you stammering like you just flew over a cuckoo's nest?
Shut up! What is this? I don't know. Don't ask me.
It seems that I'll need to start from a more obvious contradiction. I'm gonna strike the blow that will finally get him to spill the beans.
Oh yeah, your beans are all mine, Larry. I didn't see anyone at the bridge that night either.
You didn't meet anyone?
That's right, because I got nothing to do with this. And I'm just here to buy some Viridian paint, okay? Come on, I expect to see those Crimson Lake faces now. Oh, that's obvious as hell. Oh, man, he saw Nick. Right. It would appear that simply pressing him isn't going to be enough, Mr. Edgeworth.
Indeed. It seems that he's going to claim to have nothing to do with this to the end. I don't want this guy to cost us any more time. I need to slice through his obvious contradictions and keep things moving along.
And then we can present. Yeah, I figured we didn't have any evidence. I just wanted to check. How about your good old buddy, old pal, Nicholas Pickles Wright?
Larry Butts. I can understand why you might want to throw your old life away. You're pretty pathetic, and you cause all sorts of trouble.
I'm sorry.
But, having realized just how much of a nuisance you've been, that could be considered a step in the right direction.
It's true. That's true. Edgy, are you trying to console me? It certainly does sound that way to me.
However, I cannot forgive you for simply turning away from the incidents you create.
Why? You're totally pinning this on me.
Now then, let us talk about the night of the murder. Sister Bikini, after seeing the murder take place, asked Phoenix Wright to report it. Thus, he headed for the public phone by the bridge. There he happened across a certain nefarious individual. You, Larry Butts.
That's right. Me in the flesh. Listen carefully, witness. It doesn't matter if you change your name. So long as you remain pretty pathetic, you will continue to cause these incidents. That reality will not change. But what do you want me to do then?
Larry, what you need to change is your inner self. But for now, what you saw that night, testifying truthfully about this one issue is all I need from you.
Edgy, I think I've finally woken up. Well, I guess I could still be sleeping. But anyway, I'll do it. I'll testify. Well, I'm not sure this will go especially well. I'll ask again then, witness. What did you see on the night of the murder? I went to the shack around 9, so it would have been around 10:30. I was lying under my bedding when a white flash almost blinded me. I looked out the window and Dusky Bridge was on fire. There was still some thunder, but I went right away to check it out. That's when I ran into Nick. You certainly saw quite a lot, didn't you? So what happened to the bridge after it caught fire? It was like me after a 3-day stint chasing a girl. It totally burnt out. Like, almost totally gone. I mean, trying to cross the burning remains was what caused Nick to fall. What did you say?
Oh, don't worry. It's nothing life-threatening. He just caught a cold.
I never noticed that man. If he should be called lucky or unlucky. For real. Now, Mr. Edgeworth, please commence your cross-examination. What I saw, part 2. I went to the shack around 9, so it would have been about 10:30 p.m. Hold it!
What did you do out there in the cold for an hour and a half?
Well, if you really must know, I was busy being excited, I guess. Excited? Dare I even ask? I don't think you want to know. I set the meeting time as 10 p.m., right? But I couldn't wait, and I thought she might come early, too.
Well, it appears she didn't come at all in the end.
Because they never arranged to meet in the first place, did they? Shut up! Don't go picking my fond memories apart. Anyway, I was getting a little worried. I thought maybe Iris had lost her way. So every 20 minutes or so, I went to check out the bridge. But I didn't see anything particularly suspicious. I didn't have anything else to do, so I went back to the shack to wait for her. I was lying under my bedding when a white flash almost blinded me.
Hold it! The light was, of course.
Lightning! Like, kapow! Like a slap from Naomi, honestly. A big bada boom!
I was right to give him a New York accent.
Or a little like that? Whoa, that's more like a punch from Miranda. Witness, did you actually see the lightning hit the bridge? Well, I was a bit startled by the flash of light, so I looked out the window and Dusky Bridge was on fire.
Seeing that, what did you do?
What do you think? I was burning up as well, from the fire in my heart. And that's why you went to take a look at the bridge? Well, to be honest, it was freezing cold, so at first I thought, forget it, I'm not leaving my covers. But it had pretty much stopped snowing, so I don't know, I changed my mind.
I guess so, Mr. Butts.
I'm not sure I care for the forget-it attitude you had at first, Witness.
We're good. My screen flashed. I thought OBS went down for a sec. I was like, ah!
There was still some thunder, but I went out right away to check it out. Hold it!
You said right away, but exactly how long after that strike was that?
The lightning fell and then the bridge caught fire. Maybe around 5 minutes. I mean, I suddenly thought, gotta go check this out. How far is this? How far is this small shack you were in from the bridge? Hold on, well, it had pretty much stopped snowing. That's about a 5-minute walk.
And how did Dusky Bridge look when you got there?
Like I recovered a piece of my childhood. I mean, not even the bonfires kids make during school camping trips can compare.
Well, can I press him for a little more info?
Yeah, well, let's save first. Why didn't you call anyone? Why did you go to the bridge?
Larry, let me ask you one thing.
What is it, Edgy? What's with the serious face?
Why didn't you call anyone?
Huh? What do you mean?
Normally, when faced with a towering inferno, one would try and tell someone. There's a public phone right by Dusky Bridge, correct?
Well, of course I thought of doing that. So then, let's hear why you did it. Uh-huh. Yeah, okay. Reason. My reason. It isn't that I didn't try to tell anyone, it's just I didn't have time to, okay? I arrived at the bridge and Nick showed up less than a minute later. Hold it!
You claim to have arrived at the bridge at the same time as Wright?
Yeah. I thought I better tell someone about this. But then Nick came up yelling about murder. It totally made me forget about the bridge. The fire was pretty much out by then anyway.
What's this feeling? I suddenly have a terrible case of unease.
It was after contacting the police that Phoenix Wright fell from the bridge, correct?
He definitely lied about that statement. Yeah, for sure. Because, like, the fire was nowhere near out, for one.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, more or less.
He told me about the burning bridge yesterday. But there's still something that doesn't quite fit. It looks like, despite his change of heart, Larry still isn't telling the whole truth.
Nick showed up less than a minute later. What could we present? I don't think we have any evidence to prove where Nick was. The weather report? Huh. Seven to approximately 10:50, lightning 10 to approximately 11. Struck the Dusky Bridge at 10:45. Around 30 minutes passed between the fires starting and going. So it wouldn't have been out till about 11:50. Okay, wait, let me save. Yeah, let's present the weather report. Oh, whoops.
Objection!
Hell yeah.
Your very existence being a contradiction. I'm not sure if you can grasp this yet.
What the hey? Edgy, you make me sound like some sort of alien.
But your testimony is conclusively contradictory.
The problem here is time.
I've never been the best timekeeper, you know. 3 minutes after Billy leaves on foot, you follow him on your bicycle. How long does it take for you to catch up with him? Terrible at those.
This is much more simple. You saw the lightning strike Dusky Bridge and immediately went to see what had happened. Is this correct?
Yeah, well, I wasted about 5 minutes first, but more or less.
I have the weather data from the night of the murder here. According to this, the lightning fell at 10:45 p.m. You say it takes less than 5 minutes from the shacked Dusky Bridge, meaning you probably got there at around 11 p.m.
That all sounds about right, I guess. And then Nick showed up and did his fallen act.
That is impossible.
What do you mean?
11 p.m. is when the murder occurred in Hazakura Temple. Thus, Wright was still there in the courtyard. There's no way that Larry would have encountered him at the Dusky Bridge at that time.
Excuse me, I have an objection. You do? Edgy, how many times do I have to say this? I'm not Larry. I'm Maurice. It has not been proven that the murder occurred at 11 p.m. The sisters had only said around 11. In which case, it would have been earlier in that. It would have been earlier than that.
Watch your footing there, Miss Francisca von Karma. The slope is slippery ahead. For there's still no way that Wright could have been at Dusky Bridge at 11 p.m.
And why not?
It is clearly written here in the weather data reports. It took around 30 minutes for the bridge to burn out. Therefore, the bridge must have been burning until at least 11:15 p.m.
Which means what exactly?
Bright did not see the bridge while it was being consumed by the flames that night. In fact, he did not arrive on the scene until after the flames had died down. Larry, you arrived at the bridge at 11 p.m., but Wright did not make it there until at least 11:15. I suggest you stop hiding things and just tell us the whole truth. Now then, what happened during these 15 minutes?
Eric, I feel like I just got brutally woken up by a toilet splashback. Order. So there was a missing 15 minutes prior to meeting Phoenix. I hardly see that as much of a problem. Yeah, not much of a problem at all.
Really? The bridge is burning before your eyes and there is a phone right next to it. Why then did you not report the accident?
Yes, witness. Why didn't you? Were you there simply to watch the bridge burn?
And therein lies the problem. For even after the bridge had burnt out, he was still there, staring into space. This witness didn't even attempt to fulfill his civic duty.
That's what it sounds like.
Ah, but this is Larry we're talking about, and even he is incapable of being this stupid. Which means there has to be a reason for his inaction.
Edgy. I think it's about time I got serious with you, dude.
Just as I thought. You've been playing with us all this time.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you everything. Are you sure you want to hear it all?
Yes.
I may really say it this time. Everything. Ah! Then say it. Yeah, for real, bro. Very well. I have a terribly bad feeling about this. However, let's have the witness finally give us this whole testimony. Now, for this 15-minute gap, what were you doing, witness?
The missing 15 minutes.
I'm a donim. I'm an artist. What do you think I was doing? Sketching in front of the bridge. I was whipped up into a frenzy of art. The shock and awe that I was feeling. I transferred it all directly onto the page. Before I realized it, the flames had gone out. Then he came running up.
That actually kind of tracks for Larry. Not gonna lie.
I suppose artists can be strange folk. That's right. I'm willing to sacrifice everything in order to draw the perfect sketch.
Including the truth from the sound of it.
Mr. Edgeworth, has this removed the last of your doubts?
Not at all, Your Honor. One very large doubt still remains.
Oh, and what would that be?
This is a surprisingly believable story, especially considering the source. So why did he think he needed to hide it from us until now? I intend to drag the reason out of him.
You'll regret this, Edgy. I'm a donim. Hold it! All right, Mr. Donim.
Tell us, Larry.
My name is Laurice. Get it right. Mistakes like that are what keep you from being popular with the ladies like I am. Excuse me. Popular with the ladies like I am. Who exactly are you?
No one actually calls him by Laurice. Yeah, it's so funny.
I'm Laurice Donim, apprentice extraordinaire.
That's what he calls himself, in any case.
Then you are an artist? Of course, I'm an artist, the real thing.
Yet again, that's what he calls himself.
Names mean nothing. So there's only one issue I care to discuss. What were you doing?
That is a very big issue indeed.
Sketching in front of the bridge. I was whipped up into a frenzy of art.
Sketching. The burning bridge.
The burning bridge and everything that came with it.
What came with it?
You want to hear this from my lips, do you, Edgy? You'll regret this. A sketch of mine is... enough. Just take that ridiculous sketch of yours out already, witness. What are you talking about? I don't know what you mean. That does indeed appear the fastest solution. I'll leave it to you, Mr. Edgeworth.
What should I do? I've got a terrible feeling that the instant this sketch is revealed, the entire world may be changed by what's depicted there.
Well, we should save so that we can go back to the world as we knew it, just in case. And then, I mean, we need all the evidence we can get, you know?
Larry, I wonder if you could show us your sketch, please.
Well, even I couldn't have imagined it turned out like this.
Imagine what?
That Lauristo Nim's debut would take place here, today, like this.
Ouch, ouch, ouch!
Show it, now. Okay, but steel yourselves. This is the world of Lauristo Nim. I see shit on fire. What the fuck? What the fuck is going on? Well, so this is Dusky Bridge, correct? Quite a large bridge, isn't it? Your response, Miss Von Karma. Yes, well, it's better drawings than I expected. Isn't it? Isn't it? I struggled just to reproduce those flames. I really did. Yes, I am sure you did.
This is going to get ugly.
Yeah, but what does this drawing tell exactly? Yeah, apparently it tells there was a lady on the bridge.
No one has the courage to bring it up, it seems. This mysterious flying object. Larry.
What?
The burning bridge is fine. But what is that unfortunate looking figure?
Ah, you spotted that. I thought you might.
However I might want to ignore it, I can't.
Oh, good timing. Alright, so let's see here. It's Iris! Of course, Iris! It's Iris? I wish she'd take better care of herself. We have to plan for our future, you know. What would have happened to her if she had injured herself flying like that?
Larry, please answer this next question honestly.
Okay.
Are you really claiming to have seen this? Are you claiming to have seen the silhouette of the defendant flying over the bridge that was engulfed in flames?
Yep, that's what I saw. That's why I drew it. I'm an artist, a real artist.
Are
You? Hi? The girl, she's really high up in this picture. Whoa, what was that for? Nice joke you did there, Judge. Yeah.
For real, for real. And the answer to that question is yes. I am high. Even when I'm sober, I'm high.
This is all a bad dream. I was hitting you on the cheek to test that theory.
Please put your own cheek from. Please whip your own cheek from now on, if you wish to test your wild theories. Anyway, no court of law will ever acknowledge that people can fly.
Actually, there is some precedent for this.
She was flying pretty high, my sweet Iris. She's about 30 feet off the bridge, at least. It was really something to see. This has to be some kind of mistake. Mr. Edgeworth, please bring the witness back down to earth.
What? Me?
This witness is your friend, is he not?
Accessory to foolishness, Miles Edgeworth.
Let us get back to the cross-examination, by force if necessary. Mr. Edgeworth, I expect you to expose the obvious contradictions here.
Yes, Your Honor. Looks like I've got another reason to remember this moron.
Well, what did you think of my debut piece? Get that thing away from me. Larry's sketch added to the court record. Now let's hurry and cross-examine him. I'm a donim. I'm an artist. What do you think I was doing?
Hold it!
Tell us, Larry.
My name is Maurice. Get it right. Mistakes like that. Oh, yeah, we already did that. Okay. We must have got a new statement in or something. I looked in the frenzy of art. Iris. Right, here we go.
Hold it!
Just where did you see this site from?
Hey, no need to shout. When I was lying in bed in that rundown shack. Her white hood. Yeah, that's interesting. The crack of the lightning bolt made me realize that the bridge was burning. I just watched it for a while from there, thinking how nicely it was burning. And after about 5 minutes, I saw it.
Is the defendant flying?
That's right. That's when I decided to go to the bridge. Oh, I see. That all makes sense. Aside from the sketch itself.
Yes, this sketch doesn't make any sense. I just need to convince the artist that his work is ludicrous.
The shock and awe that I was feeling transferred it all directly onto the page.
Hold it!
You transferred everything directly on the page, and that is the sketch here.
Yep, sensational, isn't it? Or should that be scandalous? I put my mind at ease anyway.
It did?
That's right. The reason she didn't come to me, even though I waited for her, was because she was trapped on the other side of the bridge. Could it be that Iris undertook that dangerous, desperate flight in order to reach me? That's gotta be it. Oh, right. Go me. Nice. Ouch.
Continue, please.
Before I realized it, the flames had gone out and then he came running up.
Hold it!
You forgot the passage of time to that extent, did you?
Well, once I get caught up in something, I tend to forget everything else.
That's true. He's always been that way. I guess he's not lying about that, at least.
The Phoenix Light appeared on the scene after 11:15. If he was flying until then, that dispels all doubts.
Aside from doubts of his humanity, eh?
There is a big clue waiting for me in this cross-examination. His testimony does nothing less than mock the courts. but I am sure that there is a vital kernel of truth hidden in it somewhere.
All right, let's see.
Objection!
Larry, what did you really see that night? Not that I particularly care.
In your position, that's just being irresponsible. I drew exactly what I saw. I'll give you the whole dollar if that's the truth.
If that is truly the case, then there is one thing that we can say for certain.
What might that be?
That the person who flew over the bridge could not have been the defendant Iris.
Whoa, what? What do you mean? I don't understand. Ah! A foolhardy folly of a foolish statement by an equally foolish foolhardy fool. How exactly can you make this claim?
Tell us, Larry. According to this picture, the individual whom you say you saw was wearing this hood, correct?
Yeah, of course she was. That rundown shack is quite a way away from the bridge. This hood is what told me that this floating angel was my Iris. The hood is my darling Iris, and Iris is my darling hood. Ah! It seems there are bigger fools in the world than the one at the defense bench.
Larry, there's something you need to be made aware of. On the night of the murder, Iris wasn't wearing her hood. She had given it to Wright as a gift. Are you going to change your story now? Perhaps suggest it was Wright who took the flight?
That's how he survived the fall. Oh, what are you talking about?
I think you understand what I mean just fine.
Why? Why did Nick have Iris's hood?
What?
Edgy! What's going on with Iris and Nick? Why, you... Nick! You dog! I do believe that this unbelievably mysterious sketch is destined to disappear, discredited and discarded straight into the garbage. Ouch! What is it now, Witness? It feels like I've been waiting 25 years for this very day to come. Reggie, today is the day I get to completely stupefy you.
What?
Ooh, that's the save music. What is the meaning of your outburst, Witness? I hate to have to do this, but I have some definitive evidence.
Definitive?
Evidence? Iris did indeed come flying over the burning bridge, and I, Laristo Nim, shall prove it.
I didn't expect to ask this again.
But we shall be needing your testimony once again. Tell us anything that you know concerning the defendant as depicted in this sketch. And show us your evidence that this nightmare was actually a reality. Larry type of guy to think people like Icarus were actually real. Yeah, for real? What do you mean? He really flew into the sun. That's why his wings melted. That's how we learned to build airplanes. You think the Wright brothers were the first guys to try that? I can see it. Okay, I hope you're ready, Edgy. Because I'm gonna feed you a whopping serving of pain.
You've been serving us a whopping serving of pain this entire time. Trust me.
Notice how it's Wright brothers. Larry would think it was really Nick's brothers. Yeah, exactly. Come on, Nick, you tell them. They're your brothers. When I reached Dusky Bridge, she was already gone. I was so worried, so I frantically searched all over for her. That led to me finding a beautiful crystal sphere, half buried in the snow. Important. I'm sure that Iris was simply wearing a spare hood. After all, no one else could have lost a crystal sphere that night. Oh my god, indeed. That's your mentors. What a dumbass. Crystal sphere? This one. Pretty neat, isn't it? But finders keepers. It's that sphere. Where did you find it? Oh, let me see. Around here somewhere? Looks about right.
And it was half buried in the snow.
It had pretty much stopped snowing by then. Rose saw it's covered in blood and thought, nothing. For real, for real. There's not a thought at all in between those years. You know how they say the eyes are the mirror or like the windows to the soul? If you look into his, you just see a void. Nothingness. There was still some falling as I walked to the bridge. The court accept this crystal sphere. That's mine, okay? I want it back afterwards. There's something on it. Oh my, it's blood.
What? Blood?
Crystal sphere added to the court record. You ready, Edgy? By tomorrow morning, you'll be calling me Master Larry. Yeah, I like the sound of that. No one's gonna push me around anymore.
Didn't you want to be called Laristo Nim only a few minutes ago?
Proof that Iris flew. When I reached Dusky Bridge, she was already gone. Hold
it! So, you went to the burning bridge.
That's right, to meet Iris. She actually flew to get to me. Least I could do was meet her halfway. But the defendant was not at the bridge when you got there, you say. I guess she went back to Hazakura Temple. She's a girl after all. She must have wanted to look her best.
It must be lovely to live in a fantasy land of Larry's mind. Actually, it's so depressing I can't even work up the energy to point.
What did you do next? I was so worried, so I frantically searched all over for her.
Hold it! So you searched all over for her?
She was flying pretty high, you know. I thought maybe she slipped on her landing and got hurt. Hey, it was more than possible. Also, when I headed out to the shack the first time, I was snacking on a banana. I was pretty sure I threw the peel away somewhere around there, so you know.
Can one guy really be this stupid? So did you find any signs of her so-called landing?
I don't really remember. I kept falling over myself and kind of lost it for a while there. You fell over yourself? Yeah, the snow was deep and there was even a banana peel out there.
Yup. There's stupid, and then there's Larry Butts.
The short of it is that you didn't find any signs of her landing, correct? Then what happened next? That led me to finding a beautiful crystal sphere half buried in the snow.
Hold it! Half buried?
It was sitting in the snow with a little gathered on it, on top of it. It was very hard to spot, I mean. It was dark too. I'm impressed you did well to find it. No matter what you may think when you look at me, I'm a pro, a genius security guard. I used a pen light I borrowed from my company to help in my search. And it sparkled really brightly, as if it was saying, here I am to me.
It does indeed look very much like the crystal sphere of Iris's hood.
Larry the type of guy to go to zoo and go, here, kitty kitty, at a tiger. Yeah. For sure, for sure. Come get your scratches. Oh, man.
But need I remind you that she was not wearing her hood that night?
Well, I'm sure that Iris was wearing a spare hood.
Hold it!
Excuse me.
Each nun is assigned their own hood, and they are assigned only one.
I don't know anything about that, okay? And Iris is special, all right, dude? Even if she did steal a spare hood, I'll forgive her.
This is getting us nowhere. Our destination for the end of the day? Our destination for the end of the day, it seems.
However, this crystal sphere was found near the bridge. That is a fact. If it didn't come from a hood, where could it have come from?
That is the question I aim to answer.
Okay, well, this is an easy one. Crystal gotta be the staff, right? I was actually thinking, where is it? This. Because it establishes that it belongs in the staff. I feel like. So this is what I'm gonna try first. And then if that doesn't work, then it's gotta be the staff. There's no other option beyond that. Let me save first, though. Yeah. We're on the same track, though.
Objection!
Larry. That night, there was someone who lost a crystal sphere.
There was? Who? Who was this stupid idiot?
Miss Elise Donem, the mentor to a stupid idiot.
The victim?
I have a photo of her here. And on the end of her staff, you can see a familiar-looking crystal sphere.
Hey! That's my photograph. Give it back. Ouch! A crystal sphere like that is very easy to find. I have one just like it on my brooch.
They look nothing alike. In any case, please take a look at this. This is the victim's staff, found at the scene of the crime.
Ah, the crystal sphere. It's gone. Whoa. What? I will say, looking back to this trial, I noticed that Von Karma is much less aggressive and much more helpful to Edgy compared to Ace Attorney 2. Yeah, definitely. She definitely seems to respect Edgeworth more than Phoenix.
If anyone jumped or flew across the bridge that night, it certainly was not Iris. After all, she was not wearing her hood. More importantly, the crystal sphere found at the landing site was not hers either.
That means the one who flew and dropped the sphere was the victim, Miss Elise Donem.
Objection!
A fool alongside another fool on a fool's errand to reach a foolish conclusion. First of all, this sketch, which I prefer to call scribble, is ridiculous. People cannot fly, thus it is rejected. You can't do that. I saw with my own 2 eyes. And this crystal sphere, this is nothing more than a red herring.
You honestly believe that?
Give it some thought, and I'm sure you will realize as well, Mr. Edgeworth. Elise Donem was in her room on the night of the murder. There was no reason for her to go to Dusky Bridge. Therefore, this sphere cannot be related to this case at all.
Objection!
Miss Franziska von Karma. The only people who will accept that explanation are scatterbrains and clowns.
Why are you pointing at me?
The victim's crystal sphere was found near the bridge on the night of her murder. Yeah, you expect us to believe this has nothing to do with the case?
Objection!
It's that crystal sphere. It was probably thrown away at the bridge after the murder. Oh, after the murder. There is blood on the crystal sphere, isn't there? This naturally suggests that it was thrown away after the murder took place. The killer placed it there to show the investigation of the scent. I'm having a thought. Whoever did this, I'm thinking they killed them at the inner temple, somehow airlifted them across the like gully and dropped them in the courtyard, and then stabbed them with the shichishita covered up, which would explain why they got dropped 10 feet after their death, and then why they were moved and stabbed with the shichishita was to cover up the real stab in the location of it. The killer placed it there to show the investigation of the scent, and this probably fell when they were being hoisted across. Which is exactly the same reason that he drew that ridiculous sketch. What? You mean I'm the killer? No, what? All joking aside, just when did this crystal sphere appear near the foot of the bridge? Unless this can be proven in some way, I refuse to believe this is related to the case.
She makes a valid point. There's no evidence that Elise Donim left the Hazakura temple that night. However, if somehow that crystal sphere can be proven to have been dropped before the victim was killed, then this case is going to transform into something else entirely.
Your response, Mr. Edgeworth. I want your final opinion on the disposition of this crystal sphere. I'm gonna say... if it is not related to the case, then this witness you called will have been nothing more than a monumental waste of time. Prepare yourself for some very appropriate punishment, Miles Edgeworth.
Can I prove it? Can I prove that the crystal sphere was dropped before the murder took place?
You have to. Don't really have a choice here.
That isn't the issue. To simply prove it, that's the only option. That's what he'd do.
Exactly. Let's go!
That's the way Phoenix Wright would do this. Your Honor, allow me to prove something to you. I will prove that this crystal sphere is a vital link to solving the case.
You will do what? Such a look in your eyes. You remind me of Phoenix Wright when he is cornered.
That should come as no surprise. Because right now, I am Phoenix Wright. And I am indeed cornered.
I order you to present your evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. Evidence that proves the crystal sphere was indeed dropped before the murder. Okay. So we gotta prove it was dropped before the murder and not after. Let's see. Let's think well about this. Yeah, for sure, for sure. I'm gonna start by looking at all the photo evidence because I feel like that'll, you know, just my hunch says it's gonna be a visual thing, but I could be wrong. But this is where I'm gonna start. Okay, I don't really see anything in this. If it's about time, then it all comes down to snow, right? I suppose so, yeah, if it is about time. Yeah. The courtyard where Elise Donim was murdered. Wait. Okay. She was murdered, hoisted across the ravine, dropped,
loaded onto the snowmobile, brought up to the building on the snowmobile, placed in the courtyard, and that's when, okay, so how do we connect things? I don't think it's this. I don't think it's this either. Or is it? Does the crime photo have anything of worth of note? Maybe. Let me take a look. Police crime photo. Can't see her staff here. Process of elimination. Let's consider all the evidence that's related to Elise. Maybe that'll help. Yeah, let's see here. So obviously this is related. This is semi-related because it's related to like the flying person who we assume is Elise. This is not directly related, but it could be in terms of time. Okay, let's start with just what's directly related. So this. Oh, wait. Evidence that proves the sphere was indeed dropped before the murder. He saw this at 11, but time was 10 to 11, which means this would prove. I think this is the one, actually. Take that! Oh wait, no, that proves that it happened after the murder. Yeah, no, I got it backwards. That proves, like I said, that proves that it happened before, not after. Yeah, no. Let's see. So before the murder took place. IMO, it's gotta be either the crystal itself or the crime photo. Maybe as in like the staff itself wasn't there, so it was dropped before. That's reasonable, yeah, okay. I guess that, yeah, I mean, I guess that wouldn't, in my mind, prove that the ball was dropped, though. Because, just because they don't have the staff doesn't prove that the staff is broken. But I can definitely see, like, where you're getting with that. I mean, it's gotta be one of these two, I feel like. Maybe this, but that really feels kinda out there. Let's try this.
Take that!
This crystal sphere. It was half buried in the snow, correct?
Look at the crystal.
That's right. If it hadn't stopped snowing, then it would have been game over.
The snow would have totally covered it.
That's all I needed to hear from you, Larry.
Look at the crystal. Let's see. Found half covered in snow near Dusky Bridge the night of the crime. Yeah, I think so. I guess it's just because it's only half covered in snow. So that's what we're assuming. I guess we'll see. We'll see. Well, what?
When the crystal sphere was dropped, it was snowing, even if it was ever so slightly.
So snowing?
On the other hand, let us look at the scene of the murder. As proven earlier today, there is no snow on the victim's body. Therefore, the crystal sphere must have been dropped before the murder.
What? Order.
On the night of the murder, the victim did indeed go to Dusky Bridge. And there's something occurred that caused the staff's crystal to come loose.
So I was half right, it seems. Yeah, I think so. I think it could have been either or. So I think you were definitely on the right track. What? What could have that been?
This sphere. There's some blood on it, isn't there? Allow me to raise a certain possibility at this juncture. The real crime scene was near the foot of Dusky Bridge.
Objection!
The murder didn't take place in the Hazakura Temple courtyard? Only a fool would suggest such a foolish piece of absolute foolishness.
Just who is the fool? And which part is so foolish, Miss Von Karma?
Have you been paying any attention this whole time, Miles Edgeworth? The sister saw everything. She saw the victim being killed by the defendant in the Hazakura courtyard.
Objection!
That's not exactly true, now is it? To put it more precisely, what she saw was the murder weapon being removed from the victim's body.
So that's the same thing.
No, it isn't. You said it yourself.
Very little blood is actually lost at the moment of a blade's insertion. If you want to talk about when the most blood would be lost from a body, that would be when the blade is removed.
If that statement is the truth, then Dusky Bridge could very easily be the scene of the murder. The murder weapon was not removed, thus there was no bleeding.
Objection!
You are forgetting one vital thing, Miles Edgeworth. Alistonin's body was found in the Hazakura Temple. On foot, it takes 15 minutes to travel from Dusky Bridge to Hazakura Temple. Do you mean to suggest one carried the body all that way?
I've made it this far. The only place to take this is the end. Just need to prove that my version of events is also perfectly plausible.
Now if the defense is ready, the court would like to have an explanation. Please show us the method by which the victim's body was carried to Hazakura Temple.
Okay, now it's the snowmobile. It's gotta be. Can I save first though? No. Ooh, okay, well let's try it.
Take that!
On that snowy night, there is one way that a body could have been moved. The snowmobile. As we know, the snowmobile was used that night. It was explained as having been used to dispose of the murder weapon, but it could have also been used to carry a body.
You got it. Let's go.
Order. Yeah. This is completely unacceptable, Miles Edgeworth. You've dug yourself into your own grave.
What do you mean?
As the only one who could have used the snowmobile was the defendant. She's the one who moves the body. Doesn't that put your final nail in the coffin?
Heh. You're too late, Franziska von Karma. And in fact, the defense has proven something else entirely. We have shown that this case requires further investigation.
What?
Where was the victim Elise Donim really killed? If her body was moved, whatever for? And finally, just what does this image mean?
Do you even need to think about that? Such a creature could never see the truth, let alone describe it.
Objection!
This witness certainly sits on one of the lowest possible branches of humanity. However, he would never utter a lie that could hurt a girl with whom he is enamored. He drew this, so it is something that actually happened. The defense stands firm on this point.
Edgy. Thank you. That settles it then. I cannot give a verdict under these circumstances.
Right. I seem to have fulfilled my part in this. It is just as I thought. Franziska von Karma, you make a wonderful partner.
Excuse me?
There is one reason and one reason alone for me being here. To expose the darkness lurking in this case and then pass it on to rights.
Really? That's what this was all about? You could have just told me right from the very beginning. Then I wouldn't have had Francie whipping me. Ow! Miles Edgeworth, I don't care what you were here to do. This was my chance to finally grind you under my heel.
A shame your chance seems to have slipped away.
What a shame! Francie! This is your fault. Such a terrible witness. You are an affront to the legal system for all. Oh, I demand satisfaction.
Damn. She fucking beat his ass.
I cannot believe that the witness's testimony relates to an actual event. However, there has to be some sort of answer for these questions it raises.
I'd say you're about 40 to 45% through the case now. Overall thoughts?
I'm loving this. Like, genuinely, every section I've played so far has just been better and better. Like, it's got all my favorite characters. We get friggin' Von Karma back. I love seeing that. Larry, who's hilarious. We even get to see more of this judge, which is fun. Seeing Edgeworth in Wright's shoes and how much he relates to Phoenix suddenly, hilarious. No, this is definitely peak Ace Attorney, definitely. Have his words here today been truth or lies? Next time we gather in this courtroom, those are the matters that shall be addressed. I am continuing on through the investigations by both the defense and the prosecution.
And with this, the rest is up to you, right?
Court is now adjourned.
Agreed. And then more left. We gotta clear those loose ends. Yeah, there's definitely more to be done for sure. We're gonna move on to the investigation tomorrow, and then that'll leave the big trial, which is 3 parts if I remember what you said correctly. So that'll be a lot of fun. 2 sections for investigations. Yeah. So tomorrow will be a double feature. And then Thursday, I'm not sure if I want to do all 3 chunks in one, do the final 3 parts in a long stream IMO. We'll see how I feel. But it'll either be all on Thursday or Thursday, Friday. But it'll be exciting. Big finale finally at we've been playing this trilogy for a minute, so it's wild that we're at the end now, honestly. But that was a lot of fun. Always a treat to see Von Karma. The second part went a little quicker than I expected, honestly. But appreciate you as always. I hope you had some fun, and I will see you tomorrow. I hope you have a great rest of your day. And yeah, until next time. Peace.
Let's go to see the stars and the moon. I'd fly far into space as long as I am with you. The light in my bright eyes when you're near. The fluttering I feel in my chest when you are here. I can't explain this kind of love. It pulls me to you, I want it, I can't get enough. So share this precious life with me. Just take my hand and let's enjoy the things that we'll see. Let's go to see the stars and the moon. I'd fly far into space as long as I am with you. The